Now, welcome along there. Just setting up on Facebook. If you're tuned in later in the day, just skip ahead maybe 2 minutes and we'll be into the workout. So just going to go live on our YouTube or on our Facebook. And then I'll just give an introduction now when I'm on the two platforms. Cheers in with Shane. Right, so there we go. Just bear with me now. Setting up our Facebook stream as well. So I'm just going to check. I'm kind of roughly in position there for the two. I think that should work fine. I'll come a little bit closer though. Now, get this up. Oops. Right, so very welcome along. This is a chair gym today. My name is Shane. I'm sure you've had me for a couple of the classes before. All you want is just to always say a good sturdy chair. And if you have a bottle of water at the ready, that's really all we need for this session today. I'll give it maybe 2 minutes. So I know sometimes people do tune in later in the day. Skip ahead 2 minutes and we'll be in full flight with our warm-up. But I'm just going to give everyone a chance just to tune in there. So about 2 minutes and we will be off. As ever, the way I will teach these movements, I'm not really setting any counting or anything like that. I just want to give you a chance, explore the movements, get a connection. And if anyone was with me on Wednesday, this will be a similar type of session where we had a couple of supersets, putting a couple of movements together and then repeating them. So as you know, I like to sometimes break some movements down a little bit and give a little time and attention to look after a certain movements to work on one. So, Kathleen, how are you? Afternoon, and Sylvia, great to have you with us. Right, so I think that's us all kind of getting tuned in. So we'll just get straight into it. As ever, YouTube, hopefully it breaks my heart, YouTube. Sometimes it just cuts out for no reason. So any issues, we are on Facebook to anyone on YouTube there. So let's get into it. Let's get into a little bit of movement. First one I'm going to do today is my breakdown of shoulder circles. Right hand onto my chest, nice and tall in my chair. I'm just going to slowly get my left shoulder rolling back. I think I'm going to zoom in a bit closer just as we do this little bit of work. So I just want to separate my shoulder from the rest of the body. So that's why I have my chest here. It just stops me from kind of turning my full body, which can happen a lot on this kind of movement. So you're just slowly rolling your shoulder back and then change direction, going slowly forward in circles with that left shoulder. Slowly forward. And just do me another couple of reps here. And down, swap sides. Left hand on chest, right shoulder, slowly back in circles. Just going slowly back. And another couple of reps, and I am just separating my shoulder from the rest of my body. So my body is fixed, and I'm slowly rolling that shoulder back. Just warming up if you are just tuning in. So slowly forward now in circles. Again, just separating my shoulder from the rest of my body. Slowly forward in circles. And down. Perfect. Just nice and light there. Just going to bring hands up the chest, push right arm, and then push left arm. Just pushing straight out from my chest. Just trying to get a little squeeze, a little connection with my chest as I push out. And then I'm going to progress and start pushing the two hands together, straight out from my chest. So just pushing straight out in front. Pushing out, another couple of reps. Pushing straight out, just squeezing, connecting with my chest here. And down. Perfect. Okay. From there, I always like a nice little bit of rotation. So hands together. Just turn your body right and slowly turn to the left. So again, not looking to go fast. I think the word rotation as opposed to twist. So for me, a rotation is just a little bit smoother. whereas a twist would be maybe a little bit sharper. So I just want to keep this nice slow movement, one side to the other. And then keeping hands together, elbows up, and rotating from a higher position now. So thinking of my upper body in particular. Again, just getting a little bit of movement, a little bit of rotation from right to left, keeping those hands together, keeping the elbows up. So just a very specific upper body rotation. Just kind of switching on. Should feel quite nice. Just connecting with your body here. Right and slowly to the left. And back down. Perfect. Now, next, let's get down into our lower body. I'm just going to start off with a march. I will pull back from the camera a little bit when I get down to the feet, but just for now, let's get our body marching. Nice and light. Really just keep it simple. Only point I give here is not to stamp the feet down. I just like to keep it nice and light. Just going to slowly pull back a bit. And then next, extend the right leg out, extend the left leg. So just think one at a time, extending the legs out. So again, I don't need to go too fast. Just extending the legs out. I just think switching onto my thighs here as I extend the legs out. And then again, just returning back to a nice light march, just to bring the knees up, right and left. Keeping it nice and light. And then again, just to extend the legs out, right and left. Just switching on the thighs here. Just go right, left, extending the legs out. And then just to keep your right leg out, I want to open the leg to the sides, back and front. So I'm just thinking of my hip, connecting with that hip a little bit here. So open the leg out. And we are going to work on the hips as we always do. And back down. Left leg out, open to the sides, back and front. And again, I'm not looking to go really far here. Just a nice controlled open to the sides and back in front. And back down. And just return it nice and light back to a march. Just kind of getting a nice blood flow around the body. Just warming myself up. Just gradually bringing that heart rate up. So we'll just keep marching out there. I'm just going to pull back as we lower down to our feet next. Next of all, I'm just digging the heels out in front. Again, any issues with just seeing this, if you're watching through your phone, just swipe to the right and that'll clear the comments so you can see the foot movements if needed. So just digging the heels out, nice and light. And what to do is dig the heels out to the side. So stretch across, side to side, digging the heels out. Just keeping myself moving, say warming up, just gently bringing that heart rate up. And I've dug the heels out. So next I want to tap the toes. So point the toes directly out in front. So I'm tapping my toes to the floor. I know that's a little bit out of shot there on YouTube, but just tapping toes down to the floor. Nice and light, tapping toes. And then let's bring it diagonal. So out to the right, out to the left. Tapping my toes down to the floor. Nice and light. And we'll keep it moving. And back down. So just finish out marching. I'm just going to bring the laptop down a touch, just so you can see those heel movements a little bit better. And we are going to get into our main blocks of movements. So that's our warm-up finished. We're going to go like we did on Wednesday with a couple of supersets. So just lots of time. You don't need to think about repetitions. Just kind of move around with it. Change them just as required with any of these movements. You'll have plenty of time to get a feel for them. Any movement that feels painful, just to immediately leave it out. Don't persist if something's causing pain. So, first movement, what I want to do is kind of open the feet out a little bit of width, nice and tall. And what I want to think is reaching down with my right hand as if I was pulling a lawnmower cord and drive the elbow back. Then I'm going to do the same action on the left. So, a couple of points. This isn't about reaching the floor. I just want you to reach as far as comfortable. And then I want you to slowly drive that elbow back. So I get a nice squeeze as I drive that elbow back. As I reach down, I'm always supported by one hand resting on my leg. And we will just alternate between the two. As ever, with a movement like this, there's a little coordination involved. You're going from side to side. So the last thing I want to do is go really fast here. Take my time. Work in a range that's comfortable. Right elbow back. Left elbow back. So I'm getting a nice little squeeze. Back of the shoulder. Just general upper body. And just gently tilting forward. A little tilt from those hips. Left elbow. So let's do another couple of repetitions here. Just in generally working the back of that body, opening up the chest a little bit here as well. And down. Perfect. From there, I'm going to move into a front of the body now, particularly working my chest. So, what that looks like. Elbows roughly by my sides. Clench the hands. And I bring arms across my chest. And then open back out. So, across the chest. Open back out. Now, if you find this a difficult position, you might need to start a little bit lower, and that's fine if you do. I keep the elbows roughly with a shoulder alignment just to get the best connection with my chest by having the elbows in that position. But if it caused a little bit of pain, you're not going to do that. Just lower the elbows down. My shoulders are also active, but I just really think of squeeze, kind of shorten my chest. Stretch back out. Squeeze, open back out. Another point where I'll see a lot in classes that we tend to just bring or merge the hands together. But if I bring those elbows together, think of the position of my chest and elbows, how will get the best connection? Bringing elbows towards each other, opening back out. So let's go again for another couple of reps here. Maybe two more. And down. Perfect. So take a little reset. Let's just slowly roll the shoulders back. And then we're going to try those two movements again. So slowly roll the shoulders back. Just giving yourself a little bit of a reset. And then we'll try those two movements again. So again, sit kind of forward a little bit, comfortable in your chair. Open the feet out a little bit of width. And again, I want to reach down with my right hand. Think pulling along more cord. Drive the elbow back. And then do the same on the left. So think a nice postural movement. Just think opening out that chest a little bit here. Driving the elbow back. Maybe feeling a little connection with the back of your shoulder and upper body. The back of our upper body here. Reach down. Elbow back. Again, stay in a range that's comfortable. I'm not looking to reach the floor or touch the ground. I'm just going as far as comfortable and driving that elbow back. Think slightly diagonal with my movement here. As I reach down, I'm always supported by one hand on my leg. I'm never looking to go too fast. Just keep it nice and controlled, like we do with all our movements. And one more. Excellent. So moving to chest. And after that, I'm just going to reset my position nice and tall. Arms out. Again, my elbows are roughly in line with my shoulders. Cross the chest. Stretch back out. So think squeeze in. Open back out. And I am just trying to connect with my chest on this movement. Squeeze in. Open back out. And we'll continue on like that. Again, those elbows are up at about shoulder level just to help me connect with my chest. But if that felt a bit tight and stiff, I will just lower the elbows as required. So another couple of reps. We'll get two more. And once more. And down. So it's going to reset. And next, roll the shoulders forward. So just take a little bit of a breather after that again. We will slowly roll the shoulders forward. I'm going to do a little bit of work around the ankles and hip next. So a movement we had on Wednesday paired with a hip opener. Right, so first movement. I might show this from the side. I think that will work best. So how this will look. What I want to do is just again, as ever, I'm comfortable in my chair. My right foot is elevated. What I want to do is dig the heel, tap the toes. Dig the heel, tap the toes. So I'm just going to start slow and just get a feel for this movement. This was one we worked on Wednesday. Just mixing it up a little bit for variety instead of just always doing toe lifts or heel lifts. This is just a nice combination movement. What am I trying to do here is get movement from the ankle. So I dig the heel down, so the toe raises up, point the toes down. So I'm going between those two ranges of movement. So movement around the ankle is the main real function here. And just dig the heel, tap the toes. You might start to connect with the back of your leg and also a little pull on the front of the leg as well. So they are our main kind of objective here. Now, lots and lots of reps. So it should start to open up. It might feel really tight, like you can't really get much movement. And then as we go along, it starts to open up more and more. And we're just going to keep going. Heel, toes, heel, toes. Keep it moving. And a little bit of movement from the knee as well. Lots of little fringe benefits on this one. And down. Brilliant work. Swap sides. Lift your left foot up. Same action. I want to dig the heel, tap the toes. Heel, toes. Just start kind of slow enough. I'm going to pull my right foot out of the way there. Just dig the heel, tap the toes. And I'm just getting as much movement as I can. What starts maybe kind of tight, stiff, might start to open up a little bit as we go along. Heel, toes. And again, I just think opening up from that ankle, getting a little connection with the back of my leg, the lower leg, our calf, and maybe a little connection on the front on our shin here as well. So we'll just continue on, heel, toes, keeping it moving. You're doing really well. Just keeping that one flowing. Lots and lots of reps. This could be anywhere up around the 30 mark, but I think it's good. A little bit of time to work on each part. And rest down. Brilliant stuff. So moving into the hips, swivel around. This is just going to be a straightforward hip opener to the side. So how it looks. Reset. Right foot up. For me, I just like to bring hands together. It just feels comfortable. You can hold the side of your chair if you like. Open the leg to the side. Back in front. Now, I know some of us might be restricted by a chair a little bit. And that's fine. Just work within the range that you have. But in any case, you're trying to keep that body strong, that you're not turning with the movement. I want the movement from my hip. So it's not a case of forcing that leg really, really far to a point where I would turn. Just a nice controlled open. If you're very restricted, just think a very little swivel side to side, keeping your foot elevated. Just work with what you have here in terms of range. And down, swap sides. Tough enough one, so I don't go quite as long here. Left foot is up, open to the side, back in front. So again, just opening my leg out from my hip. Whatever range I can comfortably achieve here. And if you're a bit restricted, you might just turn it into a very kind of smooth swivel side to side within a much smaller range, and that's fine. And I like these hip movements. Think of things like stepping into a car, just lifting over. Important. Hips, important to everything we do. So a little bit of work and attention to the hips, always good. And down. Perfect. So we'll come back to the side view. It's just to give you guys a demonstration. Your position is fine. Moving back to my feet. Again, I'm comfortable in my chair. Right foot up, heel, toes, heel, toes, and I'll continue on like that. So again, I'm going to get lots and lots of repetitions on this movement. Just think opening up around the ankle, your foot, maybe connecting, feeling the back of your lower leg, maybe feeling the front of your lower leg, a little bit of movement from the knee, lots and lots of different things here. Just take as much as you can from this movement. Without even realize, we've already done a lot of reps, and we're going to do another good block here. Keep it going. heel, toes, heel, toes. Kind of opening up as much as you can. So really lifting the toes up as you dig the heel down, then pointing the toes down to the floor. Let's keep it going. Maybe starting to get a bit tired now. 2, and rest. Brilliant. Left side. Foot up. Dig the heel, tap the toes. Heel, toes. Again, just kind of opening it up on the first couple of reps. I'm going to pull my right foot out of the way. And let's continue. Dig the heel, tap the toes. So again, I'm opening up from the ankle. If it's tight, stiff, I'm getting nice movement in the feet, the foot. A little bit of movement from my knee. Maybe feeling the back of the lower leg. Feeling a little pull on the front of the leg as well. So I'm just connecting with all these different things. Again, I'm doing lots of reps, giving my body a good chance to connect, feel the movements. Slow it down a little bit if you want. Just giving your time to get between the two positions as far as you can, with toes up, then down the floor. Last couple of reps. 2, 3, 2, 1, and down. Brilliant stuff. Okay, I'm going to turn back to the camera and we will introduce 2 new movements. What I'll do is just in between, just lightly rock the feet forward and back. Just go up on the toes, back on the heels. Just rock the feet forward and back nice and light after that one. Uses a little bit of recovery. And then I'm going to set us off into our next 2 movements together. We're doing really good stuff. Okay, so let's get ready again. I might sit just a little bit forward. Again, I straighten that position up so I'm not rounded. I just kind of lengthen right up nice and tall. What I want to do is start this one nice and slow and we'll build it up. My right hand is ready to go here. So what I'll do is dig my left heel, press the right arm across, back in. Dig the right heel, press the left arm across. So think of a heel dig with a nice smooth rotation, just pressing across the body. Again, there's a little bit of coordination. So I don't need to go too fast. Let's just start this one slow, kind of get a feeling for the movement. So we have to use our brain a little bit. We have to think a little bit on this movement. So I'm just stretching the leg out, digging the heel, and I rotate my body in that same direction. Whatever heel digs out, rotate your body in that direction. I just push my arm lightly across the chest. Again, I'm going to use that word again, rotation, just that I don't want any kind of sharp twist where you turn your body really fast and sudden. Just go for a nice smooth rotation. Stay in a range that's comfortable to you. Make sure it feels good and nothing feels uncomfortable. If you needed, you could just go with the rotation across the body or just dig in the heels if it felt a little bit uncomfortable. Let's keep it going. Going across the body, another couple of reps. And once more. And down. Excellent. Now, kind of similarly, we want to stick with the upper body. What I want to do is bring hands to the side of my head if that's comfortable. If it's not, you might prefer to just fold the arms. Not a problem. I'll go with this position again. I'm going to lengthen them nice and upright. And what I want to do is just rotate to the left, reset in the middle, and rotate to the right. So again, I'm breaking it down in the middle. So it just gives me a chance to reset. And I just think of separating my upper body from the rest of my body. So an upper body rotation or movement. Now, you're not going to go very far range-wise. We're not going to full directly to the side here unless we have, very, very good range and mobility here, but I would expect a very kind of moderate rotation where you're not getting very far. So just work with your body, go nice and slow, and always break it down in the middle. You have that little reset that I don't just go side to side. It's always broken up in the middle and rest down a little bit lower on the reps there. Brilliant. So again, same 2 actions. So again, I'm just going to reset my position. Heel dig with rotation across. So right hand is up and ready. Dig the left heel. rotate, right heel and rotate. So we'll just keep it, again, start slow, kind of just gradually feel your way into the movement. Once you get the rhythm of this one, it starts to go nicely then. Again, I'm digging a heel, rotating across. Again, never going to a point where I'm kind of really fast twist. A nice smooth rotation. Work with your body in terms of how far you're comfortable pushing that arm across. And just lightly dig the heel out at the same time. So a little coordination. You can probably see on my face the kind of concentration. I'm going to think a little bit on this one. And last couple. And down. Brilliant. Okay. Back to that upper body rotation. So again, just set up nicely. Again, nice and tall. I'm bringing hand side ahead. If that's not a comfortable position, as I said, you could just fold the arms instead. But I'll lead with this position. I gently rotate to the left, so my upper body moves. Back to the middle, and then to the right. Middle, left, middle, right. So instead of left to right, I always want that little break in the middle, that little bit of a reset of position, that you're not rushing between the two positions. Keep it nice and controlled. Little pause in between your right and left. And let's go once more in each direction. And back down. Excellent. Okay, really good stuff. I have one more little superset of 2 movements to put together. So let's get into that one. We might just take a little reset of the shoulders again. I think it's always nice. We might start to slouch a little bit. Let's just slowly roll the shoulders back. Just open up. Get the shoulders moving a little bit. Okay. Slowly back. I'm going to go once more and down. Now, next I'm going to go for a forward reach and side bends. We'll go with the forward part first. So, think this is like a part of a squat. So, whenever we squat, for example, we'd always be saying keep the body strong, that you're not bending forward. So, the first part you would initiate is a lean forward. So, that's a movement I like to do a lot in a seated class. If for example, standing up is a difficulty, can we at least start practicing maybe that motion forward without bending? So that's my purpose here. So I'm going to sit slightly forward in my chair. So I am nice and tall, first of all. I'm not slouched at all. I straighten my position up. I'm going to bring the arms directly in front. And what I want to do is keep this position strong and lean my body forward. So my back stays straight and I reach forward. I just like to add the arms out in front as well. Another little bit of challenge, that your arms aren't dropping down. So they give me a little cue. If the hands are going down, it means we're probably bending. If I can keep the arms out in front, then I'm keeping a nice, strong, straight upper body position. If I bend, those hands will start to go down as if I was diving in this position. I want to keep the arms out as I reach forward. So nice, strong upper body position. Strong back, strong core. Reaching forward. Again, another important part is, like it would in a squat, is the position of my feet. So if I had my feet really far out, it gets a bit harder. If I bring the feet in close, kind of with every other part of my body, kind of firmly pressed into the ground, I can keep a nice, strong support, base of support here. As I just gently reach forwards. Let's try one more. And back down. Okay. Next, we're going to go into little side bend and taps. Now, again, I'm aware there might be arms in your chair, so do just make sure to kind of bring the arms outside the arms of your chair. Nice and tall. Arms by my side. I'm going to tap down. I'm going to physically tap the side of my chair. Reset, and then I'll do the same to the left. Now, for some of us, we might need to go in a much kind of shorter range like this, and you're just going to build it up. I don't want you to go to a point where you feel unbalanced or uncomfortable. I'm just reaching down. I think like we're always reaching down for things, so I'm just practicing that movement. what might happen is that you start to bend forward here. And what I want to do is keep this movement side to side, lateral, as much as I can, that I'm not drifting forward at all. Imagine a sheet of glass in front of your body and behind your body, and you have to stay within that plane of glass. So you're staying within it, just going right and left. And with this movement, people often, we just think of this crunch, but stretching this part is an important function as well. Stretching the opposite side and down. Okay, so one more time. Forward reach with side bend. So again, let's set this one up. I'm going to sit forward a little bit. Again, I want my feet in a good, firm, strong position, so they're not way out in front. They're close to my body in a good, strong position. Body is tall, chest out, arms out, and I'm looking directly in front. I reach forward and back in. Again, I can look at my hands and I can see that they're staying out in line with my shoulders. If they're dropping, probably a sign I'm bending forward. So now to check in with yourself that you are keeping a nice, strong upper body position. My core is engaged here. My back is strong as I lean forward. Keeping this position nice and strong. Just gently reaching forward. Another couple of reps. Maybe a little bit tougher when we're doing them well, so I'm not quite as high on the repetitions. And down. Excellent. I'm going to come back front on. So with a little noise there. Nice and tall again. Arms by my side again. Just make sure kind of well clear the arms of your chair. I'm going to tap down to the right. Tap down to left. Now, I just like to physically tap the thing here, but that's not necessary. Just reach side to side. And again, remember that way I was saying, keeping a sheet of glass in front of your body and behind so that I'm not kind of drifting forward at all. I want to keep side to side, but I'm always going to reset in the middle. And again, it's just that little breakdown, that little bit of a pause that can give you a good control of the movement. It can become maybe a little bit, you'll connect a little bit less, or you're not really feeling it the same way if you go really fast side to side. Just taking that little bit of time to break it down in the middle and just get a good control and command of the movement as you go from one side to the other. Let's get once more on each side. And back down. Excellent. Okay, brilliant stuff so far. So, what I'll do is just one little bit coordination, because we worked hard there. I was looking for my water and couldn't see it. And a little bit of fun. I have to think a little bit for these movements. Just one or two little fun ones because it's Friday. Don't be too hard on yourself if you don't get these perfect. As I said, just a little bit of fun on a Friday session after a lot of good, tough work there. What I want to do is bring your two legs out and just start to kick the legs up and down. Suil, kicking the legs up and down. Bring the arms out and then crisscross the arms. Okay. So this legs kick up, down, arms crisscross side to side. So it's just two different actions for the brain. So you're just having to think a little bit to get these two movements in. Legs kick up, down. Arms crisscross, side to side. So some of the groups don't like me for these ones. So if any of them are watching, I'm sure they'll enjoy this. And down. So for me, that's a nice starter one. It's not too bad. Next one tends to get people a little bit more. So what I want you to do now is start crisscrossing the legs. And it's the way I'd always do it. Just introduce one phase of movement at a time. Crisscross the legs, arms up and down. So this is the one where it tends to get a little bit messy. So I'm crisscrossing the legs, arms up, down. And what happens is the arms want to do the same thing as the legs. And we'll just keep it going. And back down. Excellent. Okay. So just one last one. Let's just raise the right arm, left leg, and then the opposite side. So right, left, left, right. So just think opposite arm, opposite leg, just into a nice controlled march. Again, Maybe not too bad, this one. Opposite arm, opposite leg, just keeping it flowing. And we'll just do a last couple of reps. And down, perfect. So just a little bit of something different there at the end. I think nice little challenge. So we'll go into a couple of stretches now and relax our bodies down. So really good work there, especially on a Friday. And we maybe want try not to push them too long on a Friday, but really good work just to get a little bit of physical activity in. So really well done. So let's do a couple of stretches. We did work on the ankles, so I think it's important we'll stretch. So what I want to do is lift your right foot up off the floor, pointing the toes up to the ceiling. So point your toes right up to the ceiling. And then we're going to go for the opposite motion shortly, but keep it as it is, toes up, and then point the toes down to the floor. So let's stay in that position, toes down to the floor. Once again, between the two, point the toes up to the ceiling. And I like to do this sometimes with the foot elevated, just for an extra little bit of challenge, keeping the toes pointed up and then pointing the toes down. And maybe now you have a little bit more movement to compare to when you started the session, when you think of all the good movement we did around the ankle in today's session. And rest. And left foot up. Hopefully you can see this okay. I'll just put it out in front of it. Point the toes up to the ceiling. Again, let's hold on to that position. My toes are pointed up. And then I'm going to do the opposite and point my toes down to the floor. So I'm kind of lengthening the front now, keeping as is. Again, swap, point your toes up to the ceiling. I feel a little bit of stretch in my calf here. Holding position. And then again, toes down to the floor, pointing your toes down to the floor, holding that position. And rest. Brilliant stuff on that one. Back in and front. One I'm going to do next, this is just about feeling a little bit of connection on your right leg. What I want to do is push my right foot into the ground. So I'm going to push quite hard with my foot into the ground, and naturally my left foot just lifts up off the ground because I'm putting all the work and tension into that right leg. So I'm going to hold for a couple of seconds, just feeling my right leg, and rest. So again, it does take a little bit of concentration, but again, let's try it out. Left foot, push into the ground. So I'm putting all my energy into pushing my left foot into the ground, and I just feel that left leg switched on. Naturally, my right foot lifts up. All the work pushing into the floor. And down. And naturally, the opposite side relaxes then. Brilliant. Just step out with the right leg. Just open out from the hip, a couple of seconds. And back in. And just do the same with the left. Perfect. I'm just going to start moving up a little bit. I'm going to sit back into my chair, lift knee, and gently raise that knee up towards chest. And I'm going to hold this position for a couple of seconds, staying as we are. And then just lightly return down. And then my left foot up, holding on. Gently raising that left foot up. Hold position. And back down. Swapping to the side briefly. Nice and tall. You can lean forward a little bit if you like here. And just slowly bring the arms back. Just opening out my shoulders here. Stretching the arms back. Let's stay in position for a couple of seconds. And back down. And then once more, reset. So nice and tall. Maybe slightly lean forwards. Arms back. Stretching out those shoulders. Hold position. And back down. Next, I'm just going to, again, a nice stretch of the shoulders here. Arms by my side. Come across your chest and give yourself a hug. So our hug stretch is always a nice one. So I think stretching out those shoulders again here. And that's why arms across chest. And then just release. And I might go with the opposite arm on top this time. Across your chest. Give yourself a nice hug. Let's hold that position. couple of seconds. Always nice. And open back out. Perfect. Very last one. I just want to bring my fingers together. Palms of the hands face away. If that's difficult, put one hand on top of the other instead. Push straight out from your chest. So that's how I look. Straight out from my chest. And let's hold on to that position. Keeping the arms out. A couple of seconds longer. Back in, reset. Straight out again. Hold that position. Keeping the arms out. And back in. Perfect. So we'll just finish off with a little bit of light breathing. I'm just going to slowly inhale through the nose and just double the time on the exhale. So just relaxing down, hands on my legs, in through the nose. Nice slow exhale. And again. I'm just going to do two more, relaxing the body down. Once more. Okay, that's us finished for today. Hopefully you enjoyed that session. Brilliant work, everyone. I know on a Friday and it's maybe a little bit sunnier, certainly where I am. So well done tuning in, and hopefully you all feel good after that. So thanks very much for tuning in, and we'll be back on Monday again. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and well done, everyone. Brilliant stuff, everyone on Facebook, and brilliant stuff, everyone on YouTube. Looks like the stream went well, so good stuff, everyone.